Good morning, and welcome here on my working table or at my studio, or welcome to my 100-day project here for 2026. If you just have hit this video and don't know what the 100-day project is, find here under the video the little word more or the description box, and there is a link to a playlist. Find day 1, and there I will tell you everything about what the 100-day project is. But shortly told, it is a worldwide project where you can choose to do whatever you fancy to do in 100 days in a row. And this year here, 2026, it began the 22nd of February. So I am over 2/3 in this year's project. And this year I have chosen to go the mixed media way and work on a substrate that is circle shape, and it is, I can't remember, was it 11, 12 centimeter in diameter. And not to get bored, I have chosen to change color scheme every week. And I make a video every week where I show you some of the days I just made and some of the days I do here, so I can show you what I'm doing. So this is what this video is about. And here in this week 12, I will make the day 78 to day 84. And these are all the previous ones here stacked up in my red box here, and it is so full now, so I just taken the lid off. So I will do something else with them, or make this box a little higher so they can be there, because I'm still, when I've done this week, there will be 2 more weeks and 2 days before the 100-day project is over. For those of you who are new here, a warm welcome to you. My name is Lisbeth and I'm Danish, so pardon my bumpy English, but hopefully you can understand, or else you can see what I'm doing. And I like to do many different things. And again, under the little word more, you can find links to playlists where I show you what I did last year and the year before that, and there are other links. If there's something I'm talking about and I'm saying there is a link, look there. And I have divided my content up generally so you can find what interests you. If you don't are into stitching, don't look at the playlist where there's something with stitching. And if you're nuts about jelly printing, find what indicates as videos with jelly printing. I think it is much easier to navigate around this way. But else I will just quickly say a little peep. I have a Ko-fi account, so if anybody fancy like supporting my little Danish channel, I would appreciate it very much, but in any way don't feel obligated. And for those of you who already have supported me, thank you from the bottom of my heart. The link is also here under the little word more. But enough of me yada yada yada, though they're talking and not doing anything. Let us start here with the first day in week 12, day 78. As you maybe have seen in the little video, when the little clip with this, where this video started, you saw all the materials as I am going to use here this week. And I have chosen to go this turquoisey, grungy way. And beside that, I have this material here, some small bits of a material that is called Tyvek. And I have painted it, and then I have heated it up, and then it does crazy things. And I have a whole little how to do video about this material, and I will of course link that also here under the little word more. But this will be the focal points here in this week's color scheme here. Yeah, you can see that's how it looks on the back side. So that is what I will be going for here. So here are my materials, and here are my little watercolor circle, 12 centimeter in diameter. So now I will just play and see what I can come up with, and yeah, I think I will have this big piece here. I often start with the biggest piece because all my materials here are left over and small bits and bobs. Some of them are my own fabrics I have dyed or painted or whatever I have done with them, and some of them are my friend Tina's. I'm so lucky I know her, and she's making very big beautiful art quilts, and from I get to empty her bin once in a while, and her leftovers and scraps are for me big pieces, but for her it is small pieces and leftovers. So that's why I got them and have the pleasure of playing with them. So yeah, let us see. Perhaps this is too turquoisey. I have this small one here. That is better color-wise, I think. Yeah. That's perhaps the same. So yeah, I have this little piece. That perhaps is better. There. And there. Yes, I think I will go for this look. So away with this. So if you're new here, I can just quickly show you. I use a glue stick to glue them down, and I have no hiccups about gluing fabric onto paper. And I have no hiccups about doing other crazy things here, because I do this for my own amusement and enjoyment, and learning something about what I like and what I don't like and how to work. And these pieces are, I don't think about archival or anything, because they are going to be in my box, and I can look at them sometimes to get inspiration, but they aren't going to end up as museum pieces or anything else. So that is why I don't take care, or it doesn't matter to me if I use a glue stick, for instance. If you are into things you are going to sell, or something like that, of course you have to take care of these things and use things that are archival or can hold a little longer. But I think these are going to hold my lifetime, and that's not about that. It's about I have had a great time making them. But don't be precious with your glue stick. I love be frugal. You have to be sure things are put down so they sit there. So, and then I will just take this piece here, and you can see I'm just going over that fabric with my glue stick also, and I don't mind that. And here I have to have this line going up, and it fills more than this line here, so it can be covered. Yeah. And the only thing is, well, it has to dry, because I am going to stitch onto this now, and it isn't very nice to put a needle through wet glue. And I think I want this piece there bigger. And that is that. Then I can remove my, it's just a page from an old book. So I will just let it dry and rub it a little so it stays hopefully flat. And you can see it's bugging a little, but you can take something and put it there while it's drying, or something heavy, and then it will lie flat. You can always take a damp cloth and rub it a little, and it will also just stay flat. But I will be back. I think it is so dry now, so I can cut all the hangover here off. So I'll just take a scissor that only must cut in fabric and just follow the line here of the watercolor disc or circle and cut it off all the way around. And take care don't to cut in the paper. And you can look on the front side and see if it's okay. Sometimes there can be a little extra you have to cut off here, like that. So now it's looking like this. I know I made it this way, but you can always take it in other directions and see if there's another way you like it better. And in fact, in this case, I want to let it be this way instead. And now I have this little piece here, and where do I want to place it? I don't think there. So you could, yeah, it's just trying different places. But I know I often like to have, you can call this the focal point. I like to put it in the junction there where the lines are crossing each other. And yeah, I don't know why, but it's a little difficult to talk about the rule of thirds here because it's a round thing. But if you divided this up in 9 areas, the areas would be about there, the 4 points where your eyes like to look. And somehow it isn't there, and it isn't up there. It's on that line, but in the middle, and this is where I like to put it. So I've just put some thread in my needle, and of course you could glue it on, but I don't like to glue it on, so I will just stitch it on. And it isn't a problem to stitch in this Tyvek here. You can just muck your needle up. So I will just do that and keep that there with my thumb and go down another place. And I don't mind, I can see the little thread some places. So I'll just pre-poke here and come up. There. And see to I don't move it around. You just have to do the first stitch in the sorry, the first stitches, and then it is good to go, and it would be sitting there up here and just down here. And I'll do it all the way around the piece. Some distance between. There. And down there. Nothing fancy about that. So I will stitch that line too, but you can see here on the back it's just that distance I approximately has between the stitches. I can show it to you when I'm stitched it down. So now it is secured there. So what about the stitches? Yeah, there are many things you can choose to do, but I have given it a little thought while I was stitching this down. So I think from this line here, would make some pistol stitch going out in that direction, and you can just do it and see what happens. But if you want to, you can of course draw some lines and say this is the way I'm going to do it. But I think if I start with a straight line here, so I will just pre-poke here and come up. Yeah, and you can see I just secured it with a little piece of tape, and I will do exactly the same with this one here, because you can't do French knot or pistol stitches without your threads secured. And here is my tape. I have so many things here on my table, so I can hardly find myself. So now this is secured, and I've chosen this variegated thread here, and I've taken a double and that to give it a little more, so I can see it a little more. So the way I do it is I hold my thread here, and with my thumb and my index finger have my needle in my right hand, and then I turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for instance, times around, and then I keep the tension here, and then I go down somewhere far away and carefully and slowly pull my thread through. And yeah, perhaps that's, I think I would have to do a couple, because perhaps it is too pale a color here, but I'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will go a little over there and see. Yeah, perhaps, sorry. That's because I have the way I can put power on my phone here was hanging, so I got tangled up in it, so now I have secured it. So sorry for the roller coaster trip. Yeah, is that too pale? Do I want to be able to see this more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I will do them and let this be a little more pale than some of the others. So let's go out here and see. It ends up like a little bird, perhaps, but therefore I must do a lot of them, so it don't look like a bird anymore. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. This is counting in Danish. Oops, and that was my scissor. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think the most important thing when you are doing French knot is to have a needle where the eye and the stem of the needle is the same thickness. You can see there is no bump here. Like chenille needles is not very smart for doing this, but if you can do it, but then don't make the turns of the web so too tight. So yeah, I think it works when there will be many of them. So I will do a lot of them and then I can show it to you. Oh, done with this here, week 78. Pistol stitch and a row of big, chunky, fat French knots. And I will say this color scheme is much more me, this grungy look here, than last week with all this, the purple, that wasn't really my taste. So I will hurry up here and, oh, that was not, yeah, I can use that. Day 78, and it was the 10th of May 2026. And that day was my dad's mom's birthday. And here in Denmark we always said that, oh yeah, what name? It is not the oak tree, but the other tree. There are two big sorts of trees here in Denmark, the oak and the, yeah, bøgetræ, what is it called? I will have to figure that out. I can tell you tomorrow. But that was the day that tree jumped out and got flowers on the branches every spring. But bye for now and see you tomorrow. And here it is. Yummy, yummy. Good morning. I've been up and about and already made my little piece today. So again, the Tyvek piece here and 3 strips of different fabrics and big circle of chain stitches. Somehow it reminds me of the moon, and they have full moon and a half moon. And I will quickly write it here. Day 79, and it is 11 of May 2000. And this is how it ended up. And I have looked it up. It is what I was talking about yesterday. It is called a beech tree. And these are the oak and the beech tree are the most common trees here in Denmark. The one of them, the oak tree, is growing very, very slow, and the beech tree is growing fast. So yeah, that is just a little botanical story. But I will see you again tomorrow. So bye bye for now. Hi here and welcome to day 80. And this is how day 80 ended up looking. And I've just poked these hole here again, as I had said before. I just have this template, and then I think it was about there, and then I just poke the hole through here on the edge of this one, and that is a nice way. I don't draw a line and do it. I do it above the edge of the template. And this is fern stitches, and there's a few places I have skipped just to give it a little more interest. But I think it looks very nice, and this grungy look here I really like. So again, day 80, and what day is it today? The 12th of May 2026. Yeah, so I will see you tomorrow, and tomorrow I will show you the whole shebang. Hi, and welcome to day 81. And I know I want this really grungy piece here on my circle. And yeah, this is too small, so that doesn't work. And that is too much grunge. So I have this piece here, and I think I want to use that here. And I think I will have most of this one here. So I will just glue these 2 pieces down and see how it looks. And then I have Yeah, that's too much the same there. But I have this little snip, and I think I perhaps want it just that way. But I will see when I have glued these two down and cut the overhang off, so it is much easier to see what you want to do next when you have these two on, so you can see how much the space they are taking up, both of them. So I will glue it down exactly as I did the first one here in this week. You don't need to see all this gluing and drying. So they are glued down, and this is wider than this, the dark one there, or the turquoise one there. And I know I have this strip here, and if I put it half on each side there, I think it looks crooked. I know I always talk about that I like that my fabrics or paper, if it's paper, has different sizes and shapes, and in this case here different widths, and I like that when I look at it, like it is here. But when I put this piece on here, it looks like it is jumping off to that side, and I'm not sure I like that. So instead I could place it there, and then it looks like it's in the middle. And in this case I think I like that better. I couldn't have predicted that. I would have thought I would like it better that way, because then it is overlapping, but in this case I don't. I like it better here in the half. And then I have this little piece here, and I think I just want to put that up there. So this is the look I'm going for. So I will glue this down with my glue stick, and then I will sew this on here exactly like I did it at the day 78. And you don't need to see me do that again. And when I've done that, I will be back, and while I am doing this, I will give it some thoughts about what to stitch. Yeah, you know, it's a woman's right to change her mind. I tried to put it over here to this side instead, because then I have more room for stitching, and I think I want some lines of fern, no, not fern stitches, feather stitches. There it was. It was a long, I have to dig it out from my brain. But I will glue it down there and do some fern stitching, not fern, feather stitching there. So it ended up like this, and I'm satisfied with that. And I know I talked about feather stitches like this, but since this is such a straight line there, I think I don't want curved lines, so I think I'll just go for straight lines with feather stitches. And I know from experience, I will pre-cut the holes that I can show it here. And you do a feather stitch, you come up here and go down here and come up here, and then you have this bow here, and then when you come up, you put your needle in that loop here. And next time you do the same. So you pre-poke like this, and this is the way I often do it when I don't know the way to do the stitches, or yeah, it's an easier way to perhaps see that. So I will just pre-cut or pre-poke these holes. Perhaps you can better see the what I was talking about here. You have the line in the middle, and then you have one at the right, and one at the left, right, left, right, left. So because this is so grungy, I haven't taken my variegated thread. I have taken a solid color thread, and I have taken a quite harsh one, this one here, but since it is only a thin thread, I think it's okay, and I will remove that. It's an ugly color, but it's so fine to use when I pre-poke. If you don't have such a plastic thing, you can always use cardboard or an old book or some felt. So here we go. Go down, come up in the middle, there, and into the loop. Go down to the left side, up in the middle, into the loop. I really like to stitch this stitch. It's, yeah, I don't know why, but I do. I think I will make a line more, a shorter one. And yeah, in the loop. Yeah. I really think this Tyvek and this grungy fabric here looks very nice together. But again, if you're not into grunge, you probably wouldn't like it, or won't like it. Perhaps you're more into cute things like Liberty fabrics or other fabrics with flowers. But you can do exactly the same here. You can just choose other things for focal points. You could use laces and such things instead. But this is how it looks. So I will stitch that all the way down here and think I will make a row more. And I will show it to you when I'm done. So done with the feather stitches, and I think perhaps when you look at it here, it's a little difficult to see. So I'll just put this under here. Very nice stitching here. So done with that. So let us write here on the back. Day 81, and it is this, what is it, the 13th of May. There it is. So a yummy one. So take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to day 82. And I'm in a little hurry today, so it went a little quick. So not more than this straight stitching here and the piece of Tyvek, and again this lovely grungy fabric here. And I have already written it here. So yeah, sometimes you have your brain other places. So a quick one today, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Take care. Hi. Hello, and welcome today. Let us write it here at once. Day 83, and it is the 15th of May 2026. Yeah, this took me a little longer. The fabrics went on quite quick, and when I decided to place this piece here, it has this little snoot down here, so I decided to let it go like this and place it half on the dark strip here. But there was something round there, so that is why I decided to do this. It is made of blanket stitches, and it's a half circle, and yeah, I could show you another time how to do this, but you always start here out in the circumference when you do it, and then it gets quite crowded in there So I took a much bigger needle and yonked it through, so I got a bigger hole there. You can see this is how it looks on the back there. So all the stitches are going in there. But I really like this one. I think it looks so nice together, this there. And again, these lovely grungy fabrics here. So done with that, and only one more day to go within this color scheme here. So tomorrow I will make the whole one for you here in the video. So see you there. Take care. Good morning and welcome to day 81. No, sorry, 84. And I have my disc here, and I don't have much. Yeah, I have much of one of the fabrics left, but else I don't have many different ones left. And I know I want this grungy piece here, and it is half of, oh, which one was it? I think it was half of this one here. Yeah, you can see here. I've torn it off there. And I want to use that here for that. So away with these here. Let me place that here. And I place it opposite. The other one was sitting, the other half was sitting there. So I have these small strips here and this piece, but I think it is too turquoisey for this here. And then I have this small piece here left. Could be there. And this piece. It could work, but I think it's too small. Yeah, it is. I can't cover it whole. So I have this turquoise one here. I would go for this one instead. And then I want as much to look at this little piece here. Yeah, I can come up a little higher here. So this is the design I think I'm going for. And I think I want most of this. So this would overlap this one, and this will overlap this one. So I need to glue that one on first, and then this one, and then this one. And then the only thing I have left here of the Tyvek is this little piece, so that will have to come in here. And where I will place it, I can much better see when it is glued down and cut off clean. It's much easier to see it there. So I will glue it on and cut it clean, and then I will show it to you. This is how it looks. So now I have to decide where to put this little piece here. And again, I gravitate to put it there. And if I do that, I can make some lines that follow this and this line here, and just do running stitches or back stitches. I think this is what I will go for. Oh, my stomach is rumbling around here. I am also getting a little hungry. So I will just sew this piece down exactly as I did in the first one here in this week here, and then I will show you to pre-poke some holes and do that stitching there. So now this isn't running anywhere. So the way I was talking about one of the other days, I think, was to pre-poke holes using a template, or you can use anything from your kitchen or whatever you have. But I want like a half circle there, so I will have to see which one I think would look nice size-wise. So there, so I will just place this, yeah. I want that line straight there. So something like this. Perhaps there. So now I'll just press it down And then I will just poke here, and I will have about a half a centimeter between the when I poke. I in fact can't quite see it, but yeah. You can say, why don't you poke from the back side? And of course you can, yeah, you don't know where that is placed, but if you want to poke from the back side, you get these small craters, so yeah, they would come up here and you can't see where the holes is. So and you can see they are, some places they are a little more close than others, but I don't think that matters very much in this case, especially not if you are doing back stitches. So you come up and you go down in the next hole, and it can really be tricky to find these holes because the fabric closes up on itself. But now it is easier. Now I can see where I want to go down. So I come up in the next hole and go back here. And that's why it's not so difficult here doing back stitches in these holes that disappearing, because you already have been in the hole here. And I have taken the light color thread here because it's quite dark and grungy, that fabric there. So I will just do that all the way to the other end of the row of holes. So that is just ordinary back stitches, and not very difficult to do it this way here. And I think color-wise it looks quite yummy. So there are the stitches, and you can say they are a little uneven in size, but the smaller the circle you want to be neat, the smaller distance you have to have between your stitches, because if you have long stitches doing a small circle, they will go like hacks, or yeah, I don't know what it's called, but they won't be round. The bigger the circle, the more space you can have between your holes when you poke them. But I've taken the next size here of here, and then again I will just poke. I'm counting, and I don't know why I'm counting, because it doesn't matter how many there are. You perhaps wonder what this is, and I've told it many times, but there always somebody is asking me. It's a little tool my hubby has made for me. It's an old wooden handle, and apart from a compass, so I can change my needle. But you can easily make such a punch thing for yourself. Just take a cork and a needle and press it up in the cork and give it a dab of glue. And you can see this needle is quite bigger than this one is, so I'm using this if I want bigger holes, so you can have several of them with different sizes of needles in. Yeah, but now I poke these, so I will sew exactly like I have done there, and then I can show it to you. So this is how it ended up, and I really like the lines there. I could of course perhaps make another one, and I can see it is lifting up there, so I haven't been so good at gluing, so I will just give it a little dab there. And that's what you also can do if it is lifting up some places. Nothing serious damage. So here it is. This has been a great week, and I really like this color scheme here. But I will take some photos of them all here at the end of the video, and a photo of all of 7 of them, and then I can say proper goodbye to you. So here they are, all of them, and a great week for me because I like the grungy way. And only 2 more weeks and 2 days to go, and then 100 days has flown by again. Yeah, and the only thing that's happened is, man, you get older and older, and so it must be. But I really hope you have enjoyed this little video, or little, and you have been inspired and perhaps want to do something similar to yourself, or for yourself, some self-care. That's a very nice thing to do. Play and enjoy what you're doing. Stitch and let your thoughts go walkabout. I think it is very good for our mental health. And yeah, what else do I want to say? If you have liked my video here, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel if you want to see more from my hand. But else I will just say, take care of yourself, and please be nice to everybody. That's all for now, and see you next week again. Ciao, ciao.